The year is 1968 and Dodge is in a very good place with their cars such as the Charger, the Dodge Coronet, and even the Dodge Dart doing very good for themselves. But somehow they're not satisfied as they continuously find themselves losing to other famous brands such as Ford at NASCAR races. And Dodge finally had enough of this, and in 1968 they decided to make a car that was going to put an end to all of Ford's run at NASCAR. And that car was the 1968 Dodge Charger RT, but however, this car failed to impress the world at NASCAR races, and it still lost to 4 different Ford cars at this competition. So the engineers, being very disappointed with the results of this race, they went right back to the drawing board and came up with the Dodge Charger 500 the very next year. And the name Dodge Charger 500 doesn't actually come from the fact that the car has 500 horsepower, and rather it comes from the fact that Dodge was obligated to produce 500 identical versions of these vehicles to the public to be able to race it at NASCAR. And funny enough, Dodge somehow only managed to end up producing 392 of these vehicles. With this car having several features that set it apart from the previous years, such as the grille itself that was moved forward and flush with the leading edge of the front of the sheet metal, and the Dodge Charger 500's windows were also flush with the roof itself, unlike the vertical glass of the standard Dodge Chargers. And all these things were done in an effort to make the car more aerodynamic, so hopefully it could keep up at higher speeds. And as far as performance goes, the standard engine for this vehicle was the 440 or 7.2 liter Magnum engine, producing 375 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, which was capable of doing the 0 to 60 in less than 7 seconds and the quarter mile in 13.9 seconds. And the Magnum engine itself was cool and all, but Dodge is really known for their Hemi engines, and because of that, they decided to use the 426 cubic inch Hemi engine for a total of 67 out of the 392 of these vehicles. And with 27 out of those 67 being equipped with a 4-speed manual transmission, and the other remaining 40 being automatics. And I'm sure, as you could have guessed by now, that 426 Hemis were going to be faster, typically running a quarter mile in about 13 seconds and having a 0 to 60 miles per hour of just 5.5 seconds. And as cool and as fast as this car was, it ultimately could not accomplish what Dodge was hoping for at NASCAR races, and it still ended up losing to other competitors as this car could just not keep up at higher speeds. So therefore, Dodge decided to end the production of this vehicle that same year, and the very next year they introduced us to perhaps one of the most iconic cars to participate in NASCAR ever, called the Dodge Charger Daytona. And that car was finally able to do what Dodge was hoping for, which was to beat Ford at a NASCAR race. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.